Second qualifier lined up and ready to go. Once again, top 6 will make the show. Top 4 will have a chance for the pole. Off turn 4, we're underway. Gagno gets the jump on the inside. Wells trying to stick right with him on the outside. Good battle. 3 wide up the backstretch for the number 3 spot. Here comes Atkins on the inside. Foley tries to come through as well.
Brian Trim of the 28 got snookered way up on the high side as they boxed it up going to turn number 3, and he drop kicked toward the back of the field. Out front, it's Gagno in the 4. Mike Wells runs second in the 76. The 1 New York of Greg Atkins is third, rather. George Foley is 4th in the 34, and 5th right now, the CO2 of Craig Riel.
That's a good battle for that number 5 spot. Riel on the inside. Andy Haywood right alongside in the 80. Haywood now will move up, stick a nose in front, but Craig coming right back on the bottom of the racetrack. Gagno has opened up distance on Mike Wells.
Leon Gagno in the 4, beginning to check out. Battle heats up for the number 3 spot as George Foley is now all over the back bumper of Greg Atkins, but Atkins quickly closing in on the 76 of Mike Wells.
Those top 4 cars have pulled away from the 5th place car of Mike Riel. Now on the inside, here comes Flack. Keith Flack will take that 6th spot away from Andy Haywood.
Leon Gagno in the 4 begins to check out on this field. He comes around this time and he sees halfway.
That 4 just gets stronger as the race gets longer. He pulls away from this 3-car battle for the number 2 spot. Atkins on the inside, sticks a nose in front. Can Wells come back on the outside? Yes. They remain together as they come off turn 4. Now to the stripe, it's going to be Atkins to take that number 2 spot.
Foley comes right along through on the inside with Atkins. Foley now looks to challenge for the number 2 spot. He's got a little bit of a nose down to the inside. Now half the car in turn number 3. A little bit of contact as Foley backed off in turn number 3. The 2nd spot, the 1 New York of Greg Atkins, 3rd, George Foley.
Andy Haywood has come back on the outside and taken that 6th and final transfer spot away from the 43 of Flack. Flack is back to the number 7 spot. Trim runs 8, Bertium is 9th, Lindemann 10th, and Kway is 11th.
2 laps to go for Leon Gagno. Started on the point, hasn't looked back since. Foley and Atkins battle for the number 2 spot. Atkins has it right now. Foley seems content in that 3 spot. White flag is out for Leon Gagno.
Keep your eye on a battle for that 6th and final transfer spot. Craig Riel runs 5th. On the outside, it's the 80 of Haywood running 6th. Look out! Flack catches a tire in the bottom of the racetrack. Left front is broken on that car. Checkered and yellows. Gagno will be the winner. 2nd place will go to Atkins. Foley finishes 3rd. Mike Wells 4th. Andy Haywood 5th. And Craig Riel will get the final transfer spot.
Bishaw and Varno. Now they get on the hammer as they come down the front stretch. Green flag is out.
Look out, contact heavy between the 35 of Seymour as he hopped the rear end of Justin Donor. Now he grabs a tire on the inside of turn 2. That's going to force an early caution flag in this first qualifier. Not the start the Seymours wanted. Take 2. Varno this time will have the inside, and Josh Leclerc on the outside. A little bit faster pace this time. They come off turn 4. Green flag is out. Nice jump on the outside for Josh Leclerc. He will stick his nose in front, and he will lead the pack up the backstretch. Varno settles into the number 2 spot, but how long will he have that as Justin Donor is on the move? The 1 car pulls right alongside the 11. They will battle, as well as the Archers battle for that 3rd and 4th spot.
Brian and Larry Archer, that is, battling for spot number 4. Brian right now on the inside. He has the 4 spot. But Larry looking to jump back on the outside. And Speedy had a look to the outside, backed out of it. He's going to look to split him through the middle, but he can't get there as now Curtis Seymour Jr. right on Speedy's tail looking to come through on the inside.
Justin Donor on the inside grabs the lead down the front stretch. Josh Leclerc will try to battle right back in the 7 car, but Donor starts to pull away as they head up the backstretch. Speedy is now moved into 3rd. Seymour follows him through on the inside to take that 4th spot. And here comes the 23 of Larry Archer. He will move into 5th.
Larry Archer secures that pass down the front stretch, but Brian's not going away on the outside. He's fighting back As that time through 1 and 2, Larry sideways again, and Brian just capitalizing on the outside, using that progressive banking to make his way back into the 5th spot.
Justin Donor continues to pull away from the 7 of Josh Leclerc, making it look easy up front. Leclerc in the number 2 spot. He's about to be challenged by the 0-3 of Speedy Brissett. Speedy has closed the gap on the second place car down to just a couple of car lengths. Seymour continues to move up in that 357 as well. Donor comes off turn 4. He'll see the white flag.
Barring any difficulties, Donor's going to win this one. Right now the battle is on for second, as Sir Speed looks down on the inside, takes away the 2 spot from Josh Leclerc. Leclerc tries to fight back down the backstretch into turn number 3. Will he do it on the outside? Doesn't look like it. Justin Donor wins it. Speedy Brissett second. Third to Josh Leclerc. 4th, Kurt Seymour Jr. 5th on the outside, Larry Archer. 6th, Brian Archer. 7th, Jim Varno. 8th to the 36 of Terry Bischoff.
Bombers start to pick it up as they come off turn 4. Joyle's got a good jump on the inside. Will we see a green? Yes. Those top 4 cars on the inside, the entire inside row, they were all ahead of the guy that started on the outside row.
Very fortunate for the inside row. They run into turn number 3. Joyle in the 58 has the lead. Looking to come up on the outside, the 75, that's the superstar, Cody Myers, looking to come through on the high side.
Mr. Cheez-It, Bill Desatel right there in the 36. He takes over that second spot. Another car to keep an eye on, Bill Joyle in the 57. He is the leader in terms of number of wins in this Bomber division in the 2010 campaign. And he moves up to the number 3 spot right alongside the 75 of the superstar.
Bill Joyle Sr. is the leader. Has led 2 laps so far, but here comes Bill Joyle Jr. through on the inside, gets around Mr. Cheez-It. He's looking to take the 2 spot as he does in turn number 3.
Now the question is, will he pass his father? Bill Joyle Sr. the leader. Bill Joyle Jr. running in the number 2 spot at the halfway point.
Battle of the Joyles up front. Senior in the 58, Junior in the 57.
I don't think he wants to pass him. He could have gone through right there. There's plenty of room on the bottom of the racetrack. Bill Joyle Sr. in command. Bill Joyle Jr. running in the number 2 spot. Mr. Cheez-It. Bill Desatel moves alongside the 57. The 45 of Laporte's on the move as well. Now Bill Joyle Jr. may say, I got to go. They are closing in from the back with a white flag on display.
Well, Bill Joyle Sr. in the 58 still has the lead. As Mr. Cheez-It, Bill Desatel all over the back bumper. Bill Joyle Sr. pulls away in turn number 3.
Can the old man hold on for 2 more laps? Senior, your leader. Junior running second. Checkered flag out. Joyle wins it. Joyle is second. 3rd spot goes to Mr. Cheez-It. Josh Laporte finishes 4th. Josh Dervash 5th. As your winner is Bill Joyle Sr. 15 laps the distance. Final chance to qualify for the 100-lapper. Stone on the inside. Lindemann on the outside. They lead him off turn 4. Green is out. Gardner Stone will lead him up the backstretch the first time. Lindemann settles into that number 2 spot. Vince Quinville has moved into 3rd. Matt Woodruff holds down 4th in the 55, followed by K.A. in the 18.
Gardner Stone has the lead in the X1. Lindemann in the 3 looks down on the inside, but Stone powers away off the outside. Quinville in the 78 has the 3rd spot. The outside lane looking to move. Jim McComb in the 5 on the outside right now, and Bert Thielman in the 1 also on the outside.
The finishing order here will determine where these drivers start behind the qualified cars for the main event. And right now it's Gardner Stone up front with Lindemann and Quinville trying to close the gap. A good battle for the number 4 spot. K.A. on the inside, and now Woodruff in the 55 on the outside.
Back to the 6th spot. Bert Thielman in the 1, Quebec in the 0-2 of Mike Rio. Bertiome is able to get around, but can he get around the double nickel of Matt Woodruff? Let's find out. Down to the inside, he's got the lead. Let's see if he can hold it in one. Bertiome can't get the position. Off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Bertiome looks to the inside again. However, can't get there as Matt Woodruff holding that number 4 spot strongly.
Up front, Gardner Stone still holding off the 3 of Andy Lindeman, but Lindeman is closing that gap. It was down to a car length as they came off turn 2. Stone opens up a bit on the backstretch, but that 3 closing in on the corners.
Lindeman in the 3. Had a move down on the inside off of turn number 4. Couldn't get there down the backstretch again. 1 and 2. Door opens, but he just can't power off of the second and fourth turn as Gardner Stone in the X1 just powers away halfway.
Stone is your leader. Lindeman second. Quinville runs third in the 78. Chris K.A. holds onto that 4 spot. He is all by himself in 4th. Then it's Matt Woodruff in the 55 trying to hold off a challenge by Pierre Berthiaume. Mike Riel runs next, followed by the 43 of Keith Flack.
1 car on the move to this point. Keith Flack in that number 43. Flack started deep in the field, and he's up to about the 7th spot right now as Berthiaume loses it in the bunker on the backstretch, but they now run wheel to wheel down the front stretch into turn number 1.
Caution flag is out as we've got Craig Ormsby's number 0 that has come to a halt in the top of turn number 3. 9 down, 6 remain in the B main for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. Gardner Stone, Andy Lindeman, Vince Quinville, off turn 4, back to the green. It's a good jump for Gardner Stone in the X1. He starts to pull away up the backstretch. We'll see if Lindeman can continue to close the gap in the corners. Quinville is right on the back bumper of the 3 car, and Chris K.A. right there now in the 4th spot.
Gardner Stone out front. Mike Riel looking down on the inside of the double nickel. Turn number 2, he can't get there. Pierre Berthiaume looking to go 3 wide down the backstretch. Berthiaume, the car way on the high side. He's not going to get around the double nickel. Perhaps he can make the pass to the 0-2 of Riel, and he does down the front stretch.
Berthiaume continues to challenge the 55 of Matt Woodruff, while back up front, it's still Gardner Stone with the lead. Lindeman continues to close that gap in the corners, but it does no good as Stone has more power and just drives away down the front stretch. Quinville holding on to that 3rd spot. K.A. is 4th. Those 4 have separated themselves from that 5th place battle between Berthiaume and the 55, and the 1X rather, and Matt Woodruff's 55.
Pierre Berthiaume for a minute settled down on the inside, but now he looks back up to the outside of the double nickel of Matt Woodruff. And down the front stretch again, he's just going to settle in. And he holds the 6th spot.
2 to go. It'll be 1 this time by, and Vince Quinville has moved into the number 2 spot. He drops Lindeman back to 3rd, but up front, it's still Gardner Stone with 1 lap remaining. Stone with 5 car lengths on Quinville. He closes it in the corner. Let's see up the backstretch. Stone pulls away once again. The X1 of Gardner Stone into turn 3 the final time. Checkered flag is out. Gardner Stone will win the Consi. 2nd place goes to Vince Quinville. Andy Lindeman gets 3rd. 4th spot to Chris K.A. And the 55 of Matt Woodruff rounds out the top 5. 15 laps the distance for the mini modifieds. Josh Leclerc on the inside, Jim Collins on the outside, down to the green flag. It's a good start. Side by side up the backstretch. They're already 3 wide coming off the 2nd turn. Collins sticks his nose in front. Josh Leclerc trying to come back on the bottom of the racetrack. The 4 car of Chris Levere moves up on the outside. He pulls alongside Leclerc, and he'll move into 2nd in the 4.
Jim Collins is out front in the 0-2, but the 4 of Levere is where he likes to be, up on the high side. That's where he picks off cars. The Turd on the inside, looking to take over the 3 spot as he's to the inside of Leclerc. They work off of turn number 4. The Turd is in third.
Good action in the battle for that number 4 spot. Clark in the 77, Leclerc in the 7, Seymour the 357, the 20 of LaFountain, and the 1 of Justin Donor. Those 5 cars running together in a battle for that number 4 spot. Up front, it's still Collins on the inside in the 0-2. And Chris LeVere running the outside line in the 4. Side by side off turn 2 and up the backstretch.
LeVere pulls even down the backstretch. Collins is on the inside. LeVere sticks the nose in front. Turn number 3, off of turn number 4. Collins fights back. It's a drag race to the stripe for the leader. Dead even at the stripe.
Perhaps LeVere with a nose in front. He does have a nose in front now as they come off turn 2 and headed up the backstretch. Collins coming right back on the inside on the bottom of the racetrack. Now LeVere powers into turn 4. Sticks his nose in front once again, but Collins will not go away on the inside. They remain together.
Collins had the nose in front that time at the stripe. The turd remains in turd, but here comes Chris Clark. He looks to the inside but can't get there. Andrew Bordeaux in the 0-8 holds the 3 spot as now we have a new leader in the 4 of Chris LeVere.
LeVere leads it. Collins is second. Bordeaux and Clark battle for the number 3 spot. Justin Donor runs 5th. Here comes the captain on the inside. He wants to take that 6th spot. It'll drop Jamie LaFountain back to 7th. Curtis Seymour Jr. running in the 8th spot. Speedy Brissett runs 9th. Good battle for 10th. Josh Leclerc has it. Larry Archer wants it.
Black flag is out on the Tim LaFountain 41 as the 08 of Bordeaux and the number 1 of Justin Donor are looking for that number 3 spot. Donor looks down on the inside as Bordeaux is on the high side. They look to part the 77 of Clark as they go into turn number 3.
This could get interesting as they're coming up on a slower car. Will that 3-wide action work as they head into the turn? They come upon the 31 of Sprano. Justin Donor on the inside. Chris Clark right alongside in a battle for the number 3 spot. They're going to split them in 2 to the inside, 2 to the outside. Sprano in the middle. Clark comes out the best of it with that 3rd spot with Donor right there in the bottom of the racetrack running in 4th. Then it's Captain Thunder, Jamie LaFountain, and Andrew Bordeaux 3 wide for the number 7 spot.
Look out. That turn got sideways. The 20 made contact with the 0-8 down the front stretch going into turn number 1. That got him loose and off the pace. That now settles the about 5-car battle that we had for the number 3 spot. And in that 3 spot is Chris Clark in the 77 New York.
Chris LeVere is playing catch me if you can up front. He's pulled away from Jim Collins with 5 laps remaining. Collins has got a healthy lead over the battle for the number 3 spot, which features Chris Clark 77, Justin Donor's 1, and Rick Donor's 95.
Contact in turn number 2 between a couple of cars that will soon be lap cars. 37 of Dave Parent and the 33 of Jason Chris. The Donors part the Clark 77, Justin and Rick, and they pull into the 3rd and 4 spots.
Keep in mind, last few weeks we've seen that 4 car have intermittent shifting problems. It's cost him a couple of victories. But right now he's running strong up front as he's maintaining his half a backstretch advantage over Jimmy Collins in the 0-2. Justin Donor has moved to 3rd. The captain has moved into the number 4 spot. 2 to go for Chris LeVere.
Heavy lap traffic up in front of Chris LeVere. He's got a sizable lead down there. Question is, will it play any factor? And so far to this point, it hasn't played any factor. Jim Collins still remains in that number 2 spot. He's got a rear view mirror full of Donor.
White flag is out this time by Chris LeVere. Appears to be home free. The battle right now is strictly for the 2nd spot. Justin Donor on the inside, Jim Collins on the outside, and Rick Donor right there as well. Those 3 cars race together for the 2nd spot. Here comes LeVere off turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Chris LeVere will win it. 2nd spot at the line is going to go to Justin Donor. Rick Donor finishes 3rd. The 0-2 of Jimmy Collins and the 77 of Chris Clark round out your top 5.
Test. Thanks, Rick. We forgot to turn on the wireless box. Chris, you started third, and as soon as you got the car to the outside, you started to run away, and you had a good, sizable lead throughout.
My car is the only way around is to get it to the outside. I've been having training problems, so if I stay to the outside, I'm able to hold it in gear while I drive. Tonight I was fortunate enough to have a nice green flag race, and I just got out front and ran away and hide. Go ahead. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Coros Contracting, Gregor's, Outside Groove, Evergreen Auto, Plattsburgh Ford for sponsoring tonight's race. Just my whole family, they put a lot into getting me here every week.
Well, congratulations on the victory, and good luck throughout the season.
Thank you very much.
Ready for a start. Joyle Sr. inside, Desatel on the outside. Green flag this time by. Here they come. We're underway. Joyle Sr. gets the jump in the 58. The Cheez-It Man coming up on the outside as Nolan takes the 44 to the infield. Looks like some fluid coming out of that vehicle. There may be some on the track. We'll see if the cars get a little slippery coming off turn 4. No, track looks good. Bill Joyle Sr. says it's real good.
Looks like problems on the Superstar as he looks like he's going back to the pits. Back up front, Bill Joyle Sr. has the lead. Mr. Cheez-It second, but Coro looking to come through on the inside. Chad Collins has the 4 spot. Fifth is Laporte in the 45.
Curtis LaGrave moves alongside the Josh Laporte 45 as he can throw a blanket on those 5 cars battling for the number 2 spot behind Bill Joyle Sr. Joyle drifted a little bit high, but he shuts the door on Desatel.
Quickly coming up on lap car, John Michael Brissett. Mr. Cheez-It looks down on the inside, but he's not going to go anywhere there as the Brissett 14's down there. Chad Collins in the 22 pulls even down the back stretch in turn number 3. Cheez-It gets a little bit of the nose ahead, and Cheez-It holds on to the 2 spot.
All trying to run down Bill Joyle Sr. Earlier in the night, he picked up his first career checkered flag in the qualifier. Now he's going to try to do it in the main event. He leads through lap 4, but he's got a host of challengers trying to come up through and grab that top spot. Collins is second. They're 3 wide into turn 3 with LaGrave moving up on the far outside. Curtis LaGrave now takes third.
That outside lane just started to move down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Kurt LaGrave in the 72 followed the 22 of Chad Collins up on that high side, and they settle in the 2nd and 3rd spots.
Here comes LaGrave now looking to the inside of Collins as they come into turn 4. LaGrave sticks a nose in front. He's going to have 2nd place. Curtis to 2nd, and he'll look to the inside of Joyle as they go off the turn 2.
72, Curtis LaGrave passes the 22 of Collins, but look who else is trying to come through on the inside. It's Laporte in the 45. Can Josh Laporte come through? As now we have a new leader. The 58 drifts high. The 72 of Kurt LaGrave, the leader.
Joyle is going to go from 1st to 6th within a matter of about 150 yards. Curtis LaGrave opens up 5 car lengths on Josh Laporte. Here comes Josh Durvash to take a shot at the inside of Chad Collins. Those two battle for the number 3 spot.
Bill Joyle throw him in the mix as he's looking down to the inside of Durvash. In turns 1 and 2, Bill Joyle pulls even, gets a little sideways in turn number 2 as they run 3 wide going into turn number 3.
Joyle in the bottom, Durvash in the middle, Collins on the far outside. It's a 3-car war for that 3rd spot. All trying to run down the top 2. LaGrave leads the way in the 72 with Josh Laporte 2nd. Now Collins on the outside has 3rd, but how long for now? Here comes the 57 of Bill Joyle to the inside. Durvash settles into the 5th spot as Collins and Joyle continue to battle side by side.
Joyle has the 3rd spot. Michael Brissett spins it over there in turn number 2. He's got it back rolling. We stay under green. That last time by, there were 5 to go for the 72 of Kurt LaGrave Sr. or Jr. Bill Joyle in the 57. Trying to find a way by the 45 of Josh Laporte.
Collins flattened the right side of that 22 car coming off the fourth turn that time. Take a look at that when he comes by next time. He pounded that wall hard. Joyle on the inside will now take the second spot away from Josh Laporte and try and run down the leader, Curtis LaGrave.
Hey, that 22's got a little bit of the wall on it.
Oh, he's not happy with Duravage. Nice job by Josh Duravage
Good
to
save.
hold on to the 88. 2 to go this time by Curtis LaGrave trying to hold off Bill Joyle. Lap traffic ahead for LaGrave. I don't think it'll pose too much of a problem. They're not running side by side. LaGrave should be able to go by on the outside.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe he'll have to go by on the inside.
Oh, he's got to split him. He'll just go through the middle, Rick.
White flag is out. Joyle still 3 or 4 car lengths behind.
Joyle right there now. 2 car lengths, 1 car length. Before you know it, he's right there. They work through 3 and 4. Curtis LaGrave in the 72, Bill Joyle in the 57. He comes high, he smacks the wall off turn number 4, but he gets the win. Bill Joyle second, third to Josh Laporte, fourth to Chad Collins. Rounding out the top 5, the 88 of Josh Duravage. Thanks, Rick. Kurt LaGrave unbuckling inside the car. He slammed the wall coming off of turn 4, but held off Bill Joyle for the victory. He's out of his car. Let's give a nice round of applause for Kurt LaGrave Jr. Well, Kurt, you able to seal up the victory tonight? But tell me, coming off of the 4th turn, did you know Bill Joyle was right there?
Oh, yeah, I did. I heard him coming, but my old man put a lot of work in this, and I just want to thank him, Kevin Farr, my Uncle Mike, and my crew chief, Steven. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, and hopefully more wins to come.
Yes.
Conserving those right side tires.
The next driver to go a lap down will be Matt Woodruff's 55. Woodruff, the next target for your leader. He completes lap number 28. They had 3 early caution flags, but solid green flag racing. Sense. We got a car in the wall. It's the Keith Flack 43. Flack in the wall off turn 4, and the caution flag is out.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but Chad Blair 6 had trouble getting around the 623 too.
34 laps complete, and we're ready to go back to the green. Single file restart. Martin Waugh hits the pedal, and we're underway. We'll see how quickly George Foley in the 34 and Patrick Dupree can work themselves by the lap cars of Gardner Stone and Bryant Trim. Stone heads to the outside to allow the 34 and 24 to go by. Now they got to find a way around the 28.
That time, Patrick Dupree drifted a little high off of turn number 2. Foley pulled away a little bit, but Foley still trying to find a way by the 28 of Bryant Trim. Patrick Dupree in the Saranac Country Store, number 24, now looks down to the inside of George Foley. Foley has him pinned on the inside. Can he get up the track? No, he can't. Dupree pinned behind the Trim 28.
And all this time, Martin Waugh has opened up a full straightaway advantage.
Martin Waugh, 0.5 of a second faster than the 34 of Foley and the 24 of Dupree, as they have now gotten around the 28 of Ryan Trim.
Gardner Stone brings the X1 back to the garage area. Now we'll see if Foley and Dupree have anything for that 90 car.
Point of the black flag there towards the 623. Dan Brown was having trouble getting around him. Field boxes up coming off of turn number 4. But the story right now is Martin Waugh checking out front.
Waugh is your leader, but he is quickly going to be coming into lap traffic. He's approaching the 76 of Mike Wells and the 10 of Pat McGrail. There's a group of 7 or 8 cars, and Waugh coming upon quickly, and we'll see how he works by them, as many of those cars, Rob, running side by side.
Cars running double file in front of Martin Waugh, rather. They see the lap flag, and let's see what Martin's going to do. His mind is in a bind right now, as they are still running double file. Battle for second heats up yet again as the pistol Patrick Dupree looks to the outside of George Foley. Martin Waugh looking left, looking right, trying to find a way by, but he's really getting slowed up by those lap cars.
We try and follow Mike Wells through on the outside. 3 wide, Waugh caught on the far outside.
Martin Waugh still struggles to get by on the high side. He's now clear of 2 of those lap cars, but he's still got Mike Wells up in front of him, running double file.
Wells leading the way for Martin Waugh, showing him the way through the lap traffic. Wells pulls alongside the 26 car. We got a couple of cars, Durgan in the 17 and the 80 of Haywood, that got together up at the top of turn 3, and the caution flag will come out.
Durgan parked the top turn number 3. Green flag is out. Martin Waugh takes it in turn 1 and 2. George Foley and Patrick Dupree get around the 3 of Andy Lindemann, but Foley gets on the binders as the 623 of Jason Bruno slowed him up down on the inside. Patrick Dupree on the hammer off of turn number 4, and can he get there? No, he can't. Foley is strong on the inside for the 2 spot.
The battle wages on for that number 2 spot. Foley on the inside. Dupree tried a shot on the outside, but for now, he's going to settle in and run in that number 3 spot. Scarborough is 4th, 5th spot. That now goes to Parati. Parati has moved the 1P into the number 5 spot. Todd Stone now up to 6th. Chad Blair has fallen back to 7th. Leon Gagnon runs 8th. 9th spot to Mike Bruno in the 22.
Vince Quinville, 78, is 10th. Out front right now, he's got clear sailing, as does the 34 of George Foley and the 24 of Patrick Dupree. Martin Waugh remains out front. Has about a full backstretch advantage over the 34 Foley, who's off the pace. George Foley pulls it down on the infield. Foley off the pace, and that's unfortunate for George Foley, as he was running second, fast lap times, but something wrong with that car, just unfortunate for Foley.
Now the bad luck continues once again for the Shamrock Bar and Grill number 34. Solid run going. Quinville, 78, right in front, goes flying off that car. Sparks shooting off down the backstretch, and we've got a yellow.
Well, all
64 down, 36 remain, back to the green. Now Martin Waugh has got to deal with his stiffest challenge yet. That's the 24 of Dupree. Dupree about a second behind as they race up the backstretch. Scarborough has followed 7 or 8 car lengths back in the 11, but he has got a comfortable advantage on the Mike Parati 1P, who runs in the 4th spot.
Todd Stone in the 1X trying to find a way around that 1P. Now looks to the outside, perhaps trying to pin the 1P of Parati. Todd Stone has to check up in turn number 2 as Parati drifted a tad high, trying to get around the lap car, who is the 28 of Brian Trim.
Waugh starts to open up just a little bit on the 24. That lead extends as they come off turn 4. Perhaps Dupree saving the tires for a shot the last 10 laps. But Martinois has shown no catching him tonight.
Martinois, according to AMB, scoring about 0.2 of a second faster than the pistol Patrick Dupree. As we now look back to the battle, what was the battle for the 4 spot is no longer a battle, as Todd Stone zoomed by the 1P of Mike Perotti. He has the 4th spot. And now Leon Gagno looking to challenge Mike Perotti for the 5th spot.
Running in the 6th spot is the Gagno 4. Chad Blair runs 7th. 8th is Greg Atkins in the 1. Mike Bruno is 9th. 10th is the 0-2 of Riel. Then we come back to Bertiom in 11th. And the scoring has the Pat McGrail 10 running in the 12th spot. Michel Viens runs 13th. Maxim Viens is 14th. Todd Orsby is 15th. And Jason Durgan 16th. Matt Woodruff 17th. Those are the only cars remaining on the lead lap.
Martinois now just about 1/10 of a second quicker than the pistol Patrick Dupree, as he has run into some lap traffic, and that should close the gap between him and Dupree. Looking back a little bit, Don Scarborough comfortably in that number 3 spot, but I have a feeling that soon he'll have a challenge from the 1X of Todd Stone, as Stone has just pulled away completely from the 1P of Perotti, who has struggled to get around the lap car, who is the 28 of Brian Tripp.
Once again, Martinois running in traffic. That has allowed the 24 of Dupree to close the gap. Dupree now just a couple of car lengths behind as they come off turn 4. Almost 3 wide in front of the leader as Dan Brown was headed in the middle, trying to get around the 80 who wanted to get back to the garage area.
Leon Gagno in the 4, looks to the outside of the 1P of Mike Perotti.
Here comes Dupree on the inside. Caution flag is out.
Jason Durgan parked on the front stretch. Right rear, flat. Jason.
80 down. They'll complete 81 as they hit the start-finish line. We are back to the green. Clear sailing in front for the Martinois number 90. Will he pull away once again from Patrick Dupree? It took lap traffic for Dupree to close the gap, and he closed quickly. Here comes Todd Stone in the 1 to challenge the 11 of Scarborough. That's a good battle for the number 3 spot.
Right now, the 24 just a tad slower than the 90, according to AMB scoring. 0.2 of a second off is the number 24 of Patrick Dupree, as the 1X of Todd Stone wants to get away around that 11 of Don Scarborough. Trouble on the Todd Ormsby 26. He pulls to the infield.
Up front, it's still Martinois in the 90. Patrick Dupree is 2nd. Scarborough 3rd. Stone is 4th. Leon Gagno has worked his way into the 5th spot. Mike Perotti in a battle with Mike Bruno for the number 6 spot. Pat McGrail is 8th. 9th goes to the Greg Atkins 1. And Riel and Blair battle for the 10th spot.
Looking back out front, Martinois and Patrick Dupree running about 8 car lengths away from each other. Patrick Dupree, as you said a couple minutes ago, perhaps saving the tires for a late lap pass, but Todd Stone hasn't found a way by the 11 yet for the 3 spot.
Well, Dupree can't save it for much longer as the laps continue to dwindle down. 86 down, just 14 remain for Martinois, now 13. He is pulled away from Dupree once again, but that battle wages on for the number 3 spot. Scarborough has it. Stone has tried inside. He's tried outside, but he's not been able to get by the 11.
Another car that's hung up. The battle for the 6th spot. Mike Bruno been trying to find a way by the 1P of Mike Perotti. Mike Bruno hasn't had any success when he looks high or low. Perotti's been pinned behind the trim 28 since about the lap 65 restart.
There'll be 10 to go this time by Lap 90 clicks off. 10 to go for Martinois. And here he comes, closing in on that lap traffic. It may play to be a factor once again, as there's a group of about 6 or 7 cars, and they're running side by side right in front of him.
Todd Stowe now says it's time to go to take the 3 spot. He looks up to the outside of Don Scarborough and says goodbye. He takes the 3 spot over. Leon Gagnon perhaps thinking he can get around that 11. Throw him into the mix.
We've seen this before. Martinois following the 76 of Mike Wells through traffic. Now Waugh will look to the inside as Wells runs the outside. Trouble on the Blair 6. Chad Blair goes off the top of turn 3. Caution flag is out on lap 92.
And Martinois just said phew.
Waugh, Dupree, Stone, Scarborough, Gagnon. Top 5 with 8 to go. Back to the green. It's a good jump for Waugh. He's got a huge advantage already as they hit into turn 3. Dupree, he's got 5 or 6 on Todd Stone in the 1X. And if Dupree is going to make a move, it's got to be right now.
Leon Gagnon really pushing the envelope in that number 4 as he is starting to look high atop the 11 of Don Scarborough. In turn number 1, Gagnon again looks high. Gets the left side of the car almost even, but Scarborough pulls away down the backstretch. Gagnon again having trouble getting around that number 11. 5 laps to go.
Martinois maintaining that advantage on the 24 of Pat Dupree. Todd Stone is pulled away from the 11. He is solidly into that number 3 spot. Scarborough 4th. Gagnon is 5th. Parati holds down that 6th spot. And it's Bruno 7th, McGrail 8th. Atkins 9th. Mike Riel rounds out your top 10.
I don't think Pat Dupree has anything for him, because if Dupree had anything for Waugh, he should have used it by now. So if Dupree's waiting, he's awful late. Martinois, very strong and hit the Gamache Truck Center number 90. The former track champion. Really lighting it up tonight. 2 laps to go. Jason Durgan cuts another tire in turn number 2. The yellow flag will come out. Just what Martin did not want to see.
Here they come. 2 laps remain. Martinois hits the hammer as they come off turn 4. Back to the green. And again, the 90 just drives away from Patrick Dupree. And those 2 pull away from the Todd Stone number 1. White flag is out for Martinois.
Martinois has led every lap of this race. Starts on the pole, and he will finish in the top spot as soon as he works his way through corners 3 and 4. Coming off of 4, your winner, Martinois. Patrick Dupree 2nd, Todd Stone 3rd, Don Scarborough 4th, Leon Gagnon 5th, 6th, Mike Parati 7th, Mike Bruno 8th, Patrice McGrail 9th, the 1 New York of Greg Atkins, and rounding out the top 10 looked like the 0-2 of Mike Riel. Ricky's out of his car, just awaiting the Martin shuffle. Up on the roof. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, Martinois. Got to get the brake on the car. We'll wait for him to take off the gloves and the helmet. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear one more round of applause. Martin Roy, you started on the pole, and you stayed there all race. Your car seemed very fast.
Yes, very happy tonight to win the 100 lap. Thank you, Gamache, Track Center, for support me, and thank you, race fan, come every week. Thank you very much.
Now, one question for you. Did you know you had the car at the end to beat Patrick, or did you think perhaps he could have gotten around you?
I don't know. I put the gas and I go to victory lane.
Well, congratulations. Nice job, Martin.
Thank you very much.